Now, it may look like elections anywhere else in India. After all, it's the same sloganeering, politicians, flags, colour and noise. But when you scratch the surface, you will discover that elections and embracing politics in Jammu and Kashmir is still literally a life and death challenge. Political killings still remain a reality despite reduced levels of militant violence, especially in South Kashmir, where just this past fortnight, the brother of a local Sarpanch was killed. But if political killings are a reality, so is the reality of families who are still awaiting elusive justice, like the family of Tufail Mattu, who was killed by a police tear gas shell in 2010, sparking off the unrest in which 120 young boys were then killed after clashes with security forces. We bring you this special report, Two Tales of Jammu and Kashmir, the story of the people between the battle lines. It may look like a typical election anywhere in India. The colour, the noise, the slogans all underline the thaw of democracy in a state more used to the winter of turmoil. But the cost of elections here in Jammu and Kashmir is higher than anywhere else. Despite a dramatic reduction in the levels of militant violence, a plunge in politics can still mean a life and death challenge. We are in Pulwama, where the lurking presence of militants is still a dangerous reality. Posters on letterheads of the Hizbul Mujahideen have asked people to boycott elections. And just in the past fortnight, Ghulam Mohiuddin Dar, the brother of a local Sarpanch, was shot dead. Off the main highway that connects Srinagar to the volatile and still dangerous area of South Kashmir, we head into the remote village interiors to look for Dar's house. Over rubble and stone and kacha tracks, through barren fields and past endless rows of chinar trees. It takes us more than 2 hours to reach the village of Dogripura. As we stop every few kilometers to take directions, everyone knows about the family that had to bear the imprint of the gun. At Dar's house, the sense of disquiet and fear is palpable. At first, everyone seems too terrified to talk. As we huddle over the warmth of small kangris filled with burning coal, we discover that militant violence has hit this family twice this year. During the Lok Sabha elections, the aging father of the Sarpanch was killed. Now, when it is election season again, death has returned to the door of this home, with the Sarpanch's brother being made the target. The police say both killings were by militant groups.
आमिर सुबह आप दोनों से पूछूंगी आपके वालिद कैसे मारे गए अभी ही मारे गए आप बताइए सुबह आपसे शुरू करते हैं कैसे मारे गए
वो घर पर थे खाना खाते थे कोई आए हमको पता नहीं वो कौन थे वो हमको पता नहीं तो उनके चेहरे बंद थे
चेहरा ढका
हाँ सब वो उनको बाहर ले गए और वही शूट किए उनको फिर हम उन्होंने बहुत चिल्लाया वहाँ कोई नहीं हम बाहर आए यहाँ कोई नहीं था फिर
तो क्यों आपको लगता है आप लोगों को निशाना बनाया
वो हम नहीं जानते
हमको क्या पता है क्यों हो गया वही हम जानते हैं हमारे खानदान को क्या हो गया एक हमको एक ले गया अब दूसरा
अच्छा
वो भी बूढ़ा आदमी था अब ये
85 years old man
85
हाँ
जो आप मतलब जो आपके वालिद के दादा की बात कर रहे हैं
हाँ
अच्छा
अब हमारे पापा हम रहे ना 4 कितने 3 बच्चे हैं उनके हम क्या करेंगे अब
आप उर्दू समझते हैं
नहीं
The killings have compelled the Sarpanch himself, Mohammad Shahbar Dar, to resign from his post. His story mirrors that of hundreds of elected local leaders who have quit since the Panchayat elections of 2011. Earlier this year in April, 3 village heads were murdered in this very area of South Kashmir, prompting a spate of resignations.
पार्लियामेंट इलेक्शन के दौरान आपके वालिद मारे गए अभी असेंबली अभी यहाँ पे JNK का इलेक्शन है तो आपके छोटे भाई मारे गए तो आपको लगता है कि क्योंकि आप सरपंच हैं आपकी फैमिली को निशाना बनाया जा रहा है
क्या पता है आप पता नहीं
हमको कुछ नहीं पता
है आप कुछ बेखबर है
The Sarpanch says after the murder of his father, he even went to the local mosque and asked people for forgiveness for any wrongdoing.
माफी मांगी
माफी क्यों मांगी?
और जामे से माफी मांगे, अगर गलती हो गई माफी देगी। मस्जिद में गए
जब ये सरपंच थे उस टाइम,
सरपंच थे, आप भी माफी देगी।
पर किससे माफी मांग रहे हैं आप?
क्या नुकसान घर में हो गए।
Two hours away, back in Srinagar, another family is steeped in heartbreak and mourning. This is the house of Tufail Mattu, a young boy of 17 killed by a tear gas shell fired by the police. When he was walking back home from a tuition class, his books still in his hand. An innocent teenager caught in the middle of an ongoing confrontation between police and protesters. In many ways, Tufail's killing proved to be the trigger for the violent unrest of 2010 in the valley, one in which more than 100 young men were killed after a spate of clashes with security forces.
These books belonged to him only because whenever...
Today, 4 years later, his family says justice is still elusive. A small shelf in the house has been dedicated to Tufail's memory. He loved reading, and these are all his school books, still saved for posterity. Sitting right under his portrait, his father, Muhammad Ashraf Mattu, asks why no one has been punished so far.
आपको उम्मीद है कि इंसाफ मिलेगा?
Definitely, why not?
You still believe in the system?
Yes, I believe in system. It is golden opportunity for the people, for the government of India, for the state government to grab the opportunity. They have messed on many occasions because I don't think they are sincere with the system. I respect the system. It is they who violate the norms of the system. They have not violated only human rights, they have marred the democratic rights of the state.
In these elections, will you be voting?
Mattu says he will not vote in any election till there is justice for his son. Tufail's sister Arusa sits quietly, interjecting only to say that her brother's presence still fills every corner of the house.
The house, seems so full of him even now.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, of course. Like the garden outside, the bat, the ball, everything. It's not like he is gone. He's everywhere. It was not like that, we don't remember, or it's not like he's gone. It's still, he's everywhere. He can never be gone.
Sumi Dar and Muhammad Ashraf Mattu are the twin truths of a wounded state. These are the people caught between the battle lines.
The overcast, gloomy grey sky is perhaps a reflection of the mood of somberness here on the ground in Jammu and Kashmir. On the one hand, you have the story of the family that has been the target of violence in every election this year. First the Lok Sabha elections and then the assembly elections. On the other hand, you have the story of the family that is still awaiting justice for their son and still hopes that the system will deliver one day. These are the two sides of the many-sided, complex Jammu and Kashmir story.
The high turnout in the first phase of elections in Jammu and Kashmir has offered some new hope, but polls by themselves may not heal the still raw injuries in a state that has so far seen more violence than peace. In Pulwama and Srinagar, with Nazir Masoodi, Manoj Thakur, Manu Nair, Ruby Dhingra and Apta Ramesh, Barkha Dutt for NDTV.